We welcome on now Nick Shepkowski, friend of show, editor of Notre Dame, Fighting Irish on Sports Illustrated. Nick, how are you doing on this fantastic Tuesday?
I'm doing, fantastic. It's Tuesday. We got a little taste on this past Saturday. You know, if you enjoyed the Iowa State and Kansas State, everything that had to offer for you in the first half on Saturday there in Dublin with a fumble fest and a muff fest and everything else, that was fun. And we get to enjoy it this coming, Thursday it really gets going, but then first real Saturday of the fall this year. And, boy, we got a heck of a lineup this first weekend.
Obviously, we're going to talk Notre Dame. That's why we're doing this. But I want to ask you about LSU Clemson because LSU took a little bit of money. They were 4-point dogs. Now it's down to 3.5. So nothing too significant. But the narrative is, Brian Kelly can't win week one. LSU can't win week one. But also you have Clemson, who I like this year, but they were 0-3 last year against the SEC. I feel like Brian Kelly, man, has to win 9 games. I bet LSU over 8.5 wins. If he doesn't win 9 games, if they don't at least make it to the playoff, I think there's a good chance he's out. I think he's on the hot seat. Your thoughts on that game and your thoughts on LSU and Brian Kelly heading into the season?
It seems like he's had to rework that entire roster and that team and get things going. I know it's LSU and they won the title in 2019. And it's easy to say, oh, well, Ed Orgeron had just won. It's like Ed Orgeron won that national championship, and he cashed out. And it's like, I'm good. I am not going to do a damn piece of recruiting. I am not going to do anything to better this program. I'm going to be, inviting all the ladies over to practices and whatever else, and I'll pay no damn attention to this team. So there was more of a rebuild factor there than I think a lot of the national narrative wanted to kind of get behind. But it's still like, yeah, you're in year 4 now. And Brian Kelly is talking a big game. I don't know what he knows or what he thinks he knows about his team. He's talking up his offensive line like it's NFL caliber, one of the best in the country caliber. You look at the offense and what goes on with LSU, they've never really struggled to score points under him. But kind of what you're looking at in this situation, the thing I like about LSU, and man, I hate the Brian Kelly in a big game factor, but it's kind of the same thing applies. Like, if not now, when? Regarding Brian Kelly at LSU and regarding James Franklin at Penn State, it feels like this perfect storm for these teams that I traditionally just hate betting on or picking in big time situations because it's the history is they just do not come through.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, let's go back to Notre Dame here. So CJ Carr ends up winning the quarterback battle, the quarterback job, which I thought, like, if you would have asked me in June, that's where I would have went. But, I don't know, man. So Marcus Freeman comes out and he says, I had to trust my gut on the Carr quarterback decision. What do you think he brings to the table? Do you think that, it's kind of hard to say if we made the right decision, if Marcus Freeman made the right decision, but how do you feel about CJ Carr going into this Miami game?
Well, he's a guy that, obviously he's got, the football pedigree. Grew up around football, and when you're looking at that in the quarterback, he has a lot of things to offer there. You kind of watch – it's hard to take a whole heck of a lot from a spring game. Be like, oh, yeah, I'm excited because he played really well in a spring game twice. Like, okay, cool. I guess it's better than not playing well, but how much do you really take from that? I will say in watching him, he has a release that a Notre Dame quarterback has not had in quite some time. Maybe Deshaun Kaiser did, not because Kaiser did a million things particularly well, but that was probably one of them. But it tricks your eye. It's different than watching even Sam Hartman, watching last year and Riley Leonard, watching Ian Book for all those years. It does look different in that way. He can throw a deep ball. He can really it seems like his football IQ is very high. Now, that's not to say he's not going to be a redshirt freshman and make plenty of mistakes and throw interceptions. That tends to be what happens, even with some of the best of them. But there is, it seems like a high caliber football IQ there. Not quite the same athlete as Riley Leonard, not going to be the scrambler. But that's not to say he's not athletic at the same time. I think he's more gifted athletic ability than maybe he gets a little bit of credit for. And look, if you're having this situation where you have to start a first-time quarterback at the collegiate level, there's not a lot of better situations. You have one of the better offensive lines in the game. Sure, it's better run blocking than it is pass blocking, but you have improved group of wide receivers, significantly improved group of wide receivers. Oh, and you just happen to have the best backfield in college football running behind you.
Yeah, totally agree. So that's going to be like the headlines, right? Like the offensive side of the ball, CJ Carr, Jeremiah Love. But I'm a little bit worried, not worried about the defense, man, but I'm a big Al Golden guy. We'll see if he's able to turn around that Bengals defense. Now they bring in Chris Ash. Chris Ash, do you think there's going to be any drop off on the defensive side of the ball, or do you not really worry about it with Marcus Freeman kind of calling the shots?
Well, I mean, I'm interested in it because my whole thing all off season has been, and I think these guys were very good. I don't know if they're like by any means all time greats, but replacing Riley Mills and replacing Howard Cross up the middle to me is significant. Like those are two maybe not high round draft picks. That's two NFL players, and it's in a position that Notre Dame doesn't traditionally get like the big time guys. I mean, you're talking back all the way to, Lewis Nix, Ethan Johnson back like 10, 12 years ago now, when you're looking at guys that were huge, big-time recruits as defensive tackles. It's just not a position that Notre Dame has done the same caliber of recruiting. Now it's on the uptick for years to come, but that's still down the road. You're going to have to see those players. The way Marcus Freeman spoke today was very interesting to me because he said essentially that he went into the offseason thinking like, yeah, this is my biggest concern too. This is what I thought was going to be the biggest issue, keep me up the longest at night, all of that, and said that it's the position group that he feels the strongest about. So if that's the case, if that's true, I mean, obviously coach speak is coach speak, and, you can turn guys into stars that aren't anywhere near being stars, and it happens all the time. But if it's anywhere remotely true that that's not even – doesn't even have to be the best unit on the defense, but if it's if it's still an above average to very good unit, then you're looking at a group of linebackers that I think are ferocious. Yes, you lose Jack Kaiser to the NFL, but you have probably more playmakers. You have more experience there. A secondary that loses Benjamin Morrison and Xavier Watts, but it's kind of gotten to the point with Notre Dame's secondary that you look at defensive backs coach Mike Mickens, and it's like, okay, you just trust it's going to be an excellent group. I mean, Morrison goes down last year, and all right, well, Christian Gray steps up and he makes two of the biggest interceptions of the year in the USC game and against Penn State there to set up the game-winning field goal. So this is a very complete team, and I think the only thing keeping it from really being in that discussion of where Texas, Penn State, Ohio State kind of are right now, the only thing is the fact that CJ Carr has never started a college game.
Yep, completely agree. Nick Shepkowski joined us right now. You can check him out, managing editor, Notre Dame on SI. All right, let's talk about the game. Miami took a little bit of money because they were 3-point underdogs. The threes are gone, so now they're a 2.5-point underdog. A lot of hype again for Mario Cristobal, who I see is going to be coaching in the booth. I believe he's the first head coach ever to be in the booth, but they go out, they pay Carson Beck, $4 or $5 million. He was 24-3 at Georgia, but he had that offensive line, and he's coming off elbow surgery on his throwing arm. So where are you at with Miami? Where are you at with this game, man? Give us your prediction with Notre Dame only now a 2.5-point favorite. The threes are gone. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is a big deal.
I look at it, and it's like Miami was knocking on the door of the college football playoff last year, right? And Cam Ward goes, and explosive offense, highest scoring offense in all of college football. It goes and he's the number one overall pick. Obviously, all things you're going to be complimentary towards. I'm going to be that guy, though. Go pull up Miami's schedule last year. They didn't play a single ranked team. And I get it. They went to the transfer portal. I think not to say Carson Beck's not a big addition, because he clearly is. I mean, he's supposed to be he was supposed to be in this past draft and be one of the top quarterbacks taken. And you saw how that kind of went. The injury at Georgia, go make more money in a year at Miami instead of going to the NFL and maybe improve some draft stock. But Miami, I think where the interesting part is, they went into the portal and they have 4 new guys into their secondary. That secondary was atrocious last year. Can it be anywhere near good? I mean, it's a long way to go to get the average. Can it be good? I don't know. there are certain teams where there's a national perspective of, oh, it's so much better when they're great. And it's a lot of national college football writers like to try to speak it into existence. I look at it, Miami has a very good defensive line. They got some absolute stars on that. They went into the portal to address their secondary needs. Their receivers aren't returning a whole heck of a lot there. Their running game is a lot of potential that hasn't been consistent yet. I don't know. I'm not that high on Miami in 2025, and maybe that comes back to bite me, and this is something you play back in 3 months, and you're like, oh, they're 12-0. What an idiot this guy is. But, I mean, this is a team that has that reeks of, like, that top 10 to start the year and ends the year with 4 losses to me.
So Notre Dame's win total is sitting there at 10.5, minus 140 to the over. Obviously, they get A&M again this year. If it's not Miami, who's the team that concerns you? And you can't say Northern Illinois.
Yeah, no MAC teams on the schedule this year. Maybe that's a good thing for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not say Texas A&M? Like, how do you not? Yeah. I feel like that's cheating too, though. I mean, that's a team that, you know, they've recruited as well as just about anyone, whether it was Elko, whether it was Jimbo Fisher there before. They've recruited that, and I think you have a guy that, like, there's coaches that have to fit at a school. Like, there can be really good, really successful head coaches that just the fit has to be right, and if it's not, it's going to end badly. Like, I look at, like, how Marcus Freeman's looked at, and like, that's a perfect guy for Notre Dame. I think Texas A&M has their guy finally that understands the whole Texas A&M thing, because it gets joked around about in the college football world of, yeah, A&M's a cult, College Station's a cult, stay away from there. But Elko's been around that program before. He seems to kind of get it and embrace it and lean into all the kind of, you know, the strange yells that everyone else thinks are weird. I like Texas A&M. I don't know if I love them this year, but I really do like them a lot going forward. I think that's Notre Dame's toughest game. Like, you better be ready to stop the run in that one, because they are going to try to pound the ball at you, do it all day, shorten that game, and try to steal one in South Bend. I think that's one. And I don't know, maybe it's the fact that this could very well be the last time it happens, but I keep looking at that USC game in mid-October as one of, are you going to finally get it was a team that, you know, they gave Notre Dame a heck of a fight last year down in the Coliseum. Do you get that kind of, all right, this might be the last time these two teams are playing? Do you get the best shot from Lincoln Riley and company? I think that those are the biggest threats, because you kind of look at this and it's like, okay, Boise State on the right day. Heck, Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame last year at Notre Dame Stadium. On the right day, it could happen. Navy on the right day, I suppose it could happen. But it's a schedule that, like, this should be a team that wins 10 games. I did 10.5 is the perfect number. It's like, can you split those first two and then run the table, and there's your over? Like, that's pretty much how that one goes. And I don't know. The more I look at this, if CJ Carr can go 1-1 in those first two games, Notre Dame has to go 1-1, not just CJ Carr. But if they can get by going 1-1 in those, I think it's an 11-win team. I really do. And I think that it's, by the time the end of November comes, the college football playoff comes, you have a year of experience for your starting quarterback. If they can avoid the injury bug that plagued them so badly last year, there's no reason this team can't be knocking on the door of another national championship appearance.
Totally agree. Speak it into existence. Let's start it off with a victory over Miami this weekend. Nick, you're the best, man. Thanks a lot. We got 10 seconds. Give me your prediction before we let you go.
Notre Dame 27, Miami 13.
Oh, I love it. So Notre Dame, lay the 2.5. Thanks a lot. Nick Shepkowski right there, editor, Notre Dame on SI.